is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, or if you guys are new here, hello, I'm Keaton. So we're back with another book video. I'm really excited because this is going to be my second book video that I've ever done, and also it's going to be my first book recap video. So I just wanted to go through all the books that I read in July, and then also the books that I have in my stack that are in my to be read, and books that I've already started for August. So let's get into it. First things first, I read both of the books for the Crescent City series. I am obsessed with this. If you guys know, you know I love Sarah J. Maas, and this was so incredible. I have so many tabs in these. If you guys want my little book tabs that I have, I'll link them. I'll also link all the books in the description of this video, but I use these little book tabs just to mark important things. It's especially important, and I don't do it with all my books, but I always do it with Sarah J. Maas books because they're fantasy books and there's so much information. If you know, you know, and I forget so much. So I like to mark it, and that way I can remember it better or go back to it, reference something that I feel like I couldn't remember correctly. These books were incredible. If you haven't read any fantasy, I honestly, if you're looking to start with Sarah J. Maas, I wouldn't start with these two books first, just because there's a lot of world building in the first book and even still in the second book, in my opinion, and it's a lot to get into. So I definitely would start with the A Court of Thorns and Roses series if you want to get into fantasy and stuff like that. But these were both 5 stars for me. Actually, that's a lie. The first one was 4 stars simply because of the information dumping. There was just so much confusing information, but I really did get into it and enjoyed it so much. And then the second book was just absolutely incredible. I already pre-ordered the third one that is coming out in January of next year, so I will be waiting a while for that one, but I'm so excited. So I gave this one 4 stars simply because of the information dumping, and this one was 5 stars, and it just was so good. If you've read Sarah J. Maas' A Court of Thorns and Roses series and Throne of Glass series and you're going into this one, my only things I would say about these two is that, one, if you're looking for a lot of spice, it's not until 700 pages into this first book, and this is very world building, politics, very good though, such good storytelling. There's great tension, there's just, it's so good. This one has a lot more of the spice, but it also just has so many plot twists, so much drama. It's incredible. Just be prepared when you're starting the first book of this series to be a little bit confused. Everyone normally is. I also read King of Wrath, and this one I really, really loved. I actually gave this, I think, 4 stars as well. This is the same author as the Twisted Love series, which I also really, really enjoyed, but I just I wasn't obsessed with the main guy in this one as much, but I still loved it. I binged this and read it in 2 days. There is another book by her. It's in the same series. It's called King of Pride, I believe. I haven't ordered it, but I will because I love books like this. This is just a good, spicy love read. It's an arranged marriage trope kind of thing, which is always interesting for me, and I just really, really like this. I also love when the guy has to grovel, and this gave that. And then I read The Housemaid. All of you guys were telling me to read this. This is a thriller. I really, really enjoyed this. I gave this 5 stars. My only thing is, this is what I will say. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I will say I read The Last Miss Parrish, and I liked that book, but I remember telling you guys it was really hard for me to get into because the main character, I literally couldn't stand her most of the book. So many of you guys have messaged me being oh my god, I get what you were saying because I can't stand reading in the main character's perspective. And this book had some similarities as The Last Miss Parrish, and I loved this one way more. It's a thriller. It's a thriller about a woman who is a housemaid for this family. She's living, it's a wife, husband, and then they have a daughter. She's living in the house and just cleaning their house. She's a live-in nanny maid or whatever. And there's just a lot of crazy things that go on while she's living in the house. It ends really crazy. So if you guys are into that, it's a really quick read for a thriller, and I really, really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars. The other series I started in July, this one is called A Touch of Darkness. It's by Scarlett St. Clair, and this one was really interesting. I just kept seeing this. I had no idea what this was about, and I just kept seeing it all over my TikTok, so I got it. It's romance, so it's a romance series, it's love and stuff like that, but it's Greek mythology, so it's actually a retelling of Hades and Persephone. Hades is the god of the dead. Persephone is the goddess of spring, I believe, if that's correct. Yes, goddess of spring. And it's about their love story essentially, but it's really good. It's written modern, it's fantasy, but it's written as modern because obviously they're dealing with Greek gods and stuff like that. and I really, really enjoyed this. Also, it's got a great amount of spice in here. It's got some really spicy chapters, but honestly, I just think the concept of like retelling Greek mythology like in a different way is really cool. Like, I've never read a book that is like that, and I know a lot of you guys have suggested books like that for me to read, and I just think that's really cool. I just like the concept of it. So I loved this. I read this book and finished it way too quickly. So these are all the books that I read in July. I really, really enjoyed them. I had a good selection this month that I really enjoyed reading from. So now I'm gonna get into my to be read. These are the books that I actually went out and purchased. Like, they're on my shelf and haven't been read yet. I have a long to be read list on my Goodreads because I just have so many books that I always save, but these are the ones that I actually went to the store, purchased, and am excited about reading. First up, I posted on my Instagram and I said that I finished The Housemaid and I loved it, and I got a million replies being like, oh my god, you have to get the second book, which I didn't know there was a sequel to it, but everyone was like, you have to get the second book because it's even better than the first one. And so I bought the second one. This one is called The Housemates Secret, and it's by Frida McFadden. So I'm really excited about this. I actually started this, I'm reading like 2 books right now, but I started this and I read until page 15. I was like doing something and I stopped it, but I'm already intrigued. It's also another like really quick read. I specifically love thrillers because they're like so short and small and they're just like really enjoyable. So I got this one. I'm very excited. I will keep you posted next month when I finish it because I just know it's gonna be so good. And then I went to the store and I bought the 2 other books in the A Touch of Darkness series. So there are 3 books, and the 3 books that are here are actually in Persephone's perspective. There's another set of books and they're in Hades' perspective. So I'm undecided on if I'm going to go and read those. Some of you guys, if you've already read them, let me know. But a lot of people were saying that it's kind of like already a retelling of what it's basically a retelling of what's in this book from Hades' perspective, which, while I love having like a male perspective, I don't know if I want to just like relive it just to relive it. So maybe if there's some added something else in the other book, I don't know. If you guys tell me it's really good, I will go and get them. But I only bought these 2, which are the other 2 in the series, and I believe there's a 4th one coming out, which is gonna end the series. So it is A Touch of Ruin, and then it's A Touch of Malice. So A Touch of Ruin is actually what I'm reading right now. So I started this one as well. I'm 90 pages in. I love it. These I've been like rolling through. Like, for some reason, when I get my hand on certain books, I just like can't put them down. This series I'm really enjoying. Again, I just love the mix of fantasy and romance and like retelling. I don't know, it's also like so cool imagining that like these are what the gods were like, even though like they are absolutely nothing like this. It just is so fun to me. It's like in Percy Jackson where it's like, you know, they have like all the Greek gods and stuff and it's like they're funny or they're whatever. I think it's such a cool concept. So I'm really liking these right now. I'll keep you guys posted when I finish these because I will probably finish these very shortly. This book I bought by a recommendation from one of my friends, Poppy. This one is One True Loves. It's by Taylor Jenkins Reid. My friend Poppy read this and called me and was like, you have to read this book. I was sobbing, crying. I loved it so much, and I love a good book that will make me cry. So I was like, okay, I will get it. It's also a pretty short read as well. I think this is, let's see, probably like 300. Yeah, 330 pages, which is super nice and easy for me. So I hope that I'll get into this. I've been reading lots of fantasy lately, so sometimes it's hard for me to like jump back into like just like regular romance novels like this. So we'll see how I like it. But if you guys have read this, please let me know because I'm really excited to read this. The next 2 books I have are fantasy. The first one, this was all over my TikTok. I saw a lot of people saying that if you've read ACOTAR or you've read Throne of Glass or like any fantasy books and you're kind of in a slump with finding a good fantasy book to read, to go to this book. This is called One Dark Window. It's by Rachel Gillig. I honestly have no idea what it's about because you guys know I don't read the back, which maybe I'll just read it right now to give you guys an idea. Okay, the back of it says, I don't know how to say this woman's name right off the bat, the main character. Of course, it's gonna be some weird name. Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in an eerie, mislocked kingdom. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient spirit trapped in her head. He protects her, he keeps her secret. When Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road, her life takes a dramatic turn, thrust into a world of shadow and deception. She joins a dangerous quest. So I don't know. I know that the main character is a woman. I don't know what all it entails, but I have heard such great reviews from this, and so I'm very excited, and I know there is a second one coming out. So I don't know how many books will be in this series, but I'm interested to start it. I think it's gonna be really good. Most people have been saying that this one is more of like a gothic fantasy, like it's a little bit darker, but I'm into that, so I'm excited. Last but surely not least, I picked up Fourth Wing. I have been screamed at for months to read this book, and I've been seeing it all over my Instagram For You page, everywhere. This is a fantasy book, and it is by Rebecca Yarros, and I'm really, really excited about this. I know it has to be good because I couldn't get my hands on it for months. I would go into Barnes & Noble and they would be like, it's sold out, I'm so sorry. And I finally went in last week and the girl had one for me, and I was so excited. So I'm really excited to see this. I know it has to do with like dragons, and we're gonna get some romance, we're gonna get a little love interest in here, so I'm really, really excited to start this book because I think the second book comes out in just a couple months, so I cannot wait to be fully immersed in this. The only reason I haven't started it ahead of these other books is just because like I'm reading the A Touch of Darkness series right now, so I kind of want to like complete that series before I start this one. And also, everyone has been saying that this is their favorite read of 2023, and so I feel like I am going to feel that way, and I don't want to start it because I'm like, when it's done, I have nothing to look forward to. Like, I don't want to start such a great book and like such a hyped up book when I feel like once it's over I'm gonna be sad. But I guess if I'm getting the other books in a couple months, it won't matter. I don't know, I'm very excited about this. Lots of you guys commented on my last book video telling me that you guys loved this, and so I'm super stoked to read this. I'll probably do a full review here like on YouTube. A lot of you guys have been asking me to do reading vlogs. I got a couple comments on my like last YouTube video and on my TikTok telling me to do a reading vlog. I've never done something like that before. I'm very new to like the book space here on YouTube, so I'm not sure how to do that. Maybe I'll watch a couple of them and get into it, but I love doing reaction videos. I do them over on my TikTok all the time. I actually did a reaction video for the end of Crescent City and me reading Crescent City, so if you guys want to watch that, I do have those over there. But if you guys want a longer, like a full reading vlog, all my thoughts as I read this, I will totally do one. So let me know in the comments because I've never done one before, but if that's something that you guys are interested in, I will start doing that. So those are all the books that I have on my to be read that I have in front of me. I have a flight to Paris in August, and so I'm like trying to chill on my reading up until I leave because I'm like, I want to have good books for the plane ride and be able to just like read while I'm there. So I'm trying to chill, but that probably won't work out. You guys can leave me book suggestions in the comments, or if you guys have read any of these books, even on my to be read or the ones that I completed last month, let me know your thoughts. Like I said in my last video, I love when you guys leave me like so many opinions about what you thought about books. I love reading what people think. Also, I will link my Goodreads so you guys can go over to my Goodreads and you guys can follow me and you guys can see the progress. I'm always leaving comments as I'm reading books, and I love to see what you guys are reading, and you guys can see what's on my to be read. All of that is over there on my Goodreads account. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to hop on, share the books that I've read within the past month, and I will be back next month to do another book recap video for you guys, that way you guys can see how I liked all of these books. But that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.